Hey everybody, this is Caesar with Small Engine Velocity, and today we're going to go ahead and do our first look at the Lifan KPR200. Again, it is a 200cc fuel-injected, 6-speed, full-fairing street bike. Is there anything else I'm feeling? Oh yeah, and it's also water-cooled, which is awesome. So it's water-cooled, 50 cc's more than my KP Mini. It has one more gear, and it is much bigger and lots bigger tires. So let's go over my first impressions as to when I got this bike together, and then once we're done with first impressions, let's go ahead and give it a first ride, little motovlog style, and see how I can communicate how I feel about this bike. And right now I'm super excited about it. So this is my first big bike I've had in quite a while, so let's go ahead and do a little walk around. Okay, so with any bike that you get in the United States, you will have these ugly turn signals, which I'm not 100% sure if there's an integrated taillight in here like on the KP Mini, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. And then it has the big ducktail fender. Yeah, I got a temp tag, that's fine. You know, I think that's part of to have it as an American standard on here. You have your little bars for your rear passenger. This seat is in two pieces. There's a nice little bump here. The passenger is elevated. There is, if you look, some neat red stitching in here. And then to take the seat off, right here, there is a helmet holder. You can also turn this key to pop this one off right here, and then there's a little storage compartment underneath. To take this seat off, there's two bolts behind it, and then this one comes off. So this is pretty solid on here, so it's not going anywhere. This part comes off. LED tail light, a pretty monstrous stock exhaust, but you know what, all bikes when they come stock have a giant exhaust. You have rear disc, 17-inch wheels, a little skinnier than normal, but the front and the rear tire are the same, which makes this bike pretty nimble. Here is my rear brake, my rear sets. You can see the clutch, and then you can also see right here where it's water cooled. These are your intakes. If you can see, this is your intake manifold, and there's a fuel injector up there. I don't know if you can see it. There's your starter off in the back, and then your full fairing. If you notice, there's a hole right here for airflow. It's matte black. Now, if you're wondering if this is a tank cover, this is actually the tank with the Lifan logos. The graphics are on with stickers. Again, you have the signal lights again, but this is all matte white. I love it. For longevity, as far as clean, I don't know. Here's your windshield. Had to put these on. Bright red front fender. I think that looks awesome. Your, of course, United States version has to have mirror-like reflectors on the side. Front disc, 17-inch wheel also on the front. Oh wait, the front one is a 90/90/17. The rear is a 120/80/17. Sorry, I said they were the same size, but they're not. My favorite part about this bike is this projection headlamp. I've turned it on at night and it is bright. And then you put it on high beam and it is even more bright. So, yay. So when you use the flasher button right here, I like to call it the passing light, it'll flash that high beam and you will blind people and they will know you are there. Moving around to the front, you have clip style handlebars. Your keyhole is here. Of course, you have your high beam, low beam, signal, cancel. High beam, low beam, signal, and then cancel. And then you have your flasher button for your lights. Then you have your kill switch, your starting button, and that's all you got here. Of course, you have your throttle, your stock bars here, and then onto the dash. So if you look, I got a lot of reflection. The main feature in your dash is your tachometer, and then your speed is off on this side. Or actually, your gear is here, your speed is here. There's a button for your trip and your odometer. Another button over here, it changes you from kilometer to miles per hour. And this is pretty bright. It looked good, I like it. And then you move on to the tank. I think if you've watched any of my other videos on this so far, you'll know that it's a key tank entry flip up, so you don't have to put the cap anywhere. And then you have your multiple warning stickers. Now be careful when you peel some of these off. Sometimes there's a square behind it. So this is a metal tank, so I don't think it will, which looks like I need to clean this already. If you look on this side, here's your shifter. Shifter has a linkage that goes into here, and I'm kind of curious if I can flip this over and flip this over so that I could GP shift it like my KP Mini. Your other rear set. And there you go. The Lifan KPR200. It's a 198cc. Full-size bike, full fairing, water-cooled, 6-speed, fuel-injected sport bike. I believe this bike has had won 17 races over in Asia and is a very popular bike if you look across the world. Now, this is the first video I think that's going to be someone using it in America, so hopefully this can get some word out on this thing. And see if anybody wants to join me on a ride with one of these things. There are dealerships throughout the United States, and there are other options, so if you have questions, leave a comment below. Oh yeah, there's the Lifan logo. I like that. It looks neat. Just that graphic across the side looks great. As far as aftermarket, you know, that remains to be seen. I haven't really done a ton of research as far as aftermarket on here yet, but I bet you there's a bunch, considering this is popular in Asia. We can always check with the KP Moto Club, coming soon to America. Alright, so let's go ahead, throw a helmet on, and let's go ahead and do a little first impression motovlog ride on this thing. Alright everybody, we're on the bike, and I'm not gonna lie, we're on the bike a week later. I had to drive it around to get used to a big bike. I didn't want to be fumbling around trying to talk and distract myself, and then end up crashing a bike on the first ride because I'm trying to talk and do something at the same time. But anyways, the key is in. This is what it looks like when you start her up. You can hear the fuel pump. Everything checks out. Full gas tank. This side tells you neutral, tells you if you have check engine light, which is an EFI light, by the way. If you see a check engine light, that has something to do with EFI. Temperature, and a couple other side. So if you see something here that it's something important to pay attention to. I've driven 73 miles, and it is not 5:15 p.m. I reset the battery on accident, took it off and put it back on because I was trying to make something cleaner. There's your color. Look, blue. Not blue. Push this one, and there's my trip, odometer, trip, odometer. Trip is not that much further than the odometer. Alright, and then this is her starting up. That's a stock exhaust for you. Alright, now the shifting pattern is 1 down, 5 up. It's a 5-speed, but we're not going to do 5 shifts today. So we're just going to go ahead and do a little cruise around, and I'll talk about my first impressions of riding this bike. Oops, I'm in second gear. There we go. Here we go. Kind of tilted my camera down so we can get a little bit more of the bike moving. Okay, so I've driven it around for about 75, 73 miles, something like that, and the bike has just enough power. I'm not going to say it's crazy power. No one's going to say that it has crazy power because it's a 200cc bike. And for, I guess it's around 2,800 or something like that, or under 3,000. It's not bad of a bike. I'm telling you. You're not as hunched over like other bikes that I've ridden on, or sat on. I haven't ridden on them in a while. The shifting is a little bit rough, but I was easily able to fix that. I went ahead and changed off of the stock oil that it came with some Mobil 1, and it shifts a lot better now. It actually even sounds a lot better. I'm not a big fan of the mirrors, but you gotta have them, and I didn't tighten them down, so the wind keeps pushing them down. The windshield works. You can lean on the tank, you can get down on it. I really haven't got to 6th gear because I really haven't driven that far. I did drive it up a freeway and then down the other side really, really quick, and got it pretty easily to 60 miles per hour. I didn't want to go any faster than that for the simple fact that I'm still breaking it in. For the most of the driving I do, I really don't even feel like I ever get out of 4th or 5th gear. 4th gear is, I guess, the majority where I stay in. I don't know if that's good or bad, but, you know, it's not. I'm still in the break-in period. The brakes are good. I'd like to actually say that the brakes are excellent. I'm able to stop easily at any point in time. You know what? I'm going to go right. It's cooler. It is the 3rd or 4th day of spring. Now, as far as the accuracy of the speedometer, I haven't really had a chance to check that. I'm still trying to figure out how I can, oops, GP shift. I pushed down to, the Lifan is a GP shift because I had the racing rear set put on there, and it's a GP shift, which I like, but now that I have one with each, I have to kind of remind myself of what I'm doing. The levers are good. I mean, they're stock levers, but the cool part is they don't wiggle around a lot like my Lifan does. Like, they're steady. They stay in there. And then as far as power delivery, like, I mean, if I need it, I can get it. Now, it sounds like it's not loud. There's going to be an exhaust being put on here for sure, but it is not loud. And I'm kind of like my brother. I'm partial to loud bikes. I like it that if you're louder, then people can actually see and hear you and whatnot. I don't know how fast I'm going. It says 30, and I'm going 40. I don't know if this is 30. I did have to put air in the tires. I did put a full tank in. It was like almost $8 in gas, which I'm totally not used to. I'm wondering if there's a different way to do the linkage for the shifting. I don't know if that linkage is efficient at all or anything. I don't know. This is just my first impressions. So it's easy to push it. See, I'm like, and I'm only in 5th gear. It says I'm going 50, but I doubt I'm going 50. It doesn't feel like 50. But yeah, it's a comfortable ride. I mean, if you're looking for a sport bike, a beginner bike, you got it. If you're looking for a nimble bike, this is it. If you're looking for a commuter that's not a Grom or a Grom clone, and you want a little bit more power so that you can actually get on the freeway or pass or go on the highway, then this is it. I mean, this is a pretty good value, especially if you're using it for, I mean, you can use it for a commuter and you can use it for fun. I don't know. I'm pretty amazed by it. I thought the Lifan was good with being that multi-purpose bike. Like, I could ride around and be super fun on it, and then at the same time, you know,
I could use it as my commuter bike, which you can. Don't get me wrong. It's like $1,000 cheaper than this. But this thing could climb to 60 pretty easily. The riding position on this, I don't know if you can see where my knees are, but the tank has notches in it and my legs fit in it great. I'm about 5'6". I don't want to consider myself a tall man, but I am a tall Asian guy compared to other Filipinos. My feet position is good. The pegs are in a great spot. I feel, you know, it's comfortable to sit on it for a long period of time. Now, you are a little bit leaned over. You're not like a dirt bike position where you're just sitting up like this, but now it does have some weight. Let's see, I'm forgetting which way to shift my gears. It does have some weight compared to my mini bike, of course. The suspension is not, I was afraid of that too, that it would be this. The suspension is not smushy. If you know, I have the KP Mini. The front suspension is super mega smushy, and I mega smushed myself into the ground because of that. Not that I'm blaming the bike, I'm blaming me for pulling the front brake too hard. But yeah, mega smushiness. That's what got me. So big diesel truck passing me. Thank you, diesel truck. Let's do a little bit of speeding here. Oh, there's 6th gear. Oh, there's braking. There's traffic. See? I mean, it can pick up. So, yeah, be confident that you can drive it around and be happy on it and pass cars or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I'm really liking the color scheme on this thing. The fake carbon fiber for me is a little bit much, but I mean, it looks good. And then the massive warning stickers all over the place. Woohoo, there's like stickers all over they're on the side, the front, the back. I guess I need to peel some of those off at least. But for now, they're good reminders that there are warnings that come with riding a motorcycle like this. Now keep in mind also, this is just first impressions. Go ahead. You can move over if that's what you want to do. If that's not what you want to do, then don't worry about it. Anyways, yeah, okay, what I was trying to say before I was rudely left his signal light on and super bothers me. Keep in mind, this is just a first impression. This is not my full review of this bike. I would like to at least get several hundred miles on this thing before I start to give you real opinions of stuff. And it will be pros and cons. Don't think that it's just going to be a bunch of pros and then you're going to buy this bike and you're going to go, oh man, you didn't tell me about that. Or, I wish I knew that before I bought it. My goal is when you purchase this bike, that it is exactly what you were looking for. I see GP shift, I keep forgetting. It is exactly what you're looking for. And that you'll enjoy riding and commuting or whatever it is that you want to do with this bike. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and turn to this parking lot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative. If it was, please give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a dislike. If you have any comments or questions about this particular bike, which I will answer to the best of my ability, and if I don't know the answer, I'll go ahead and find it from someone else, please leave a comment below. I would love to have a conversation about this new bike. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see everybody in the next video.